day 2 of the playoffs of the FSL. We're gonna have 2 best of 1s, 2 best of 3s, and then we're gonna find out the top 2 teams. The top 2 teams, mind you, are gonna end up going to Singapore. They're gonna be playing an FSL Elite. So part of this is going to be, if we're looking at the standings and in terms of how we got the whole placing for everything, we obviously took, if we're looking at Group A, we have Witches, which is in 3rd place, and they're going to play against the 4th place team in Group B, and they're the Queens of Apocalypse. Later on, we're going to find the Steel Wolves Elite. They're going to play, Einajar, excuse me, with their team name, and they're going to play against the Frosty Fire. That's going to be a best of 1. And now, mind you, the teams that win this best of 1 are then going to play the loser of yesterday's game, which we saw the upper bracket. Spoiler alert, Elite and Valor Esports are the 2 teams that actually dropped in. So the winner of this one, Witches and Queens of Apocalypse, which is going to be our first game, they're going to play against Elite coming up right after. That's going to probably be at noon. The second game, though, is going to be Frosty Fire versus Steel Wolves, and they're going to end up playing. The winner of that one will go into Valor Esports. Now, the draft is underway. If we're looking at it now, we're going to see that Queens of Apocalypse, not actually, if we're looking at the logo K of APOC, but in fact, one thing interesting to note is that they're actually banning out some of the most popular picks of Witches in the Bristleback and the Grimstroke. So they're just kind of like sheer hate. We've done the research. We know what you like, and we're going to ban those too. Now, Witches, on the other hand, they've kind of gone with a more traditional, if you're not going to ban it, I'm going to pick it, Night Stalker. I'm going to ban the Sand King because that's very strong as well. The Underlord, that's kind of an interesting ban. I think it's more of like a playstyle thing they just don't like. And then finally, the Pangolier, which can always be annoying. Now, that's the first phase. And then the second phase, they've kind of come out with the Tinker and Ember. Apparently, they don't like magic, and they don't want to go late game. So, interesting picks there. And then Queens of Apocalypse, they respond with the Pugna and the Faceless Void. I think the Faceless Void is very, very strong, and so definitely something you need to respect, and it's super annoying late game because that Chrono is just super powerful. Now, Queens of Apocalypse, with their first phase picks, Abaddon and Phoenix. I think Abaddon is, bar none, S-tier offlane. I think it's the best offlane that you can get right now. I think it's super good. The Dispel, the amount of sustain that it has, and of course, it's super difficult to deal with, right? You need to kind of understand the cooldowns of the borrowed time and everything. So the only thing that they really lack, though, is that Queens of Apocalypse right now is that they don't really have a hard stun, right? In terms of the team fight, they got the Phoenix and everything, but who's going to kind of lock them into place and kind of control the fight, so to speak? Witches, on the other hand, they've got the Night Stalker, which is, again, it's been nerfed, but it's still very powerful. I think it can control some of the laning phase from the night on. I think it can be very, very strong. But where we've seen it kind of fall off, at least in FSL, is that it hasn't been exerting dominance, so to speak. Like the laning phase, you have to do pretty well because that first nighttime, when you can start scaling and then you can start making moves around the map, if that's what you want to do, you have to make sure that your presence is known. They have to respect that. And the Ogre, again, just very, very strong, well-rounded support pick. It's got a stun, ignite, and then the Bloodlust is always fun. And he's got 2 heads. So if you can't pick a Jakiro, you might as well pick Ogre. Apparently it's smarter. I think you gained another extra point in IQ, 1 or 2 points, I think. With that, they've picked the Lion. Now, just, you got your supports in terms of lockdown and all that. One thing I'm not really seeing is the whole team fight aspect. And you also need some sort of right-click action to deal with the Phoenix Egg. Just points to note, and then there are some weaknesses and how they're going to push into that. Now, speaking of push, Witches is actually lacking a pusher. They're lacking they have the hard, reliable stuns, but what is going to end up clicking that egg? You need something like a PL, a Lina, some sort of way to just get up in there and then just kind of focus on the egg. You just want to take that down as quickly as possible. Centaur, on the other hand, with Queens of Apocalypse, I think it's not as good as it once was. Retaliate has still been good. This guy used to be like indestructible. He was a super tank, super powerful, and definitely something you need to worry about. But I think that it's kind of gone more of like an average offlaner, seeing as Witches has kind of banned out all of the good ones, in my opinion, with the Sand King and like the Pango. I think that this is one of those things where you can't. It's like a Toyota Camry, I would say, in terms of cars. It's like reliable. It's not like the flashiest of cars, but it'll get you from point A to point B, and it won't break down on you. So the Centaur is good here. They like the Juggernaut into that, which is the counter pick to that. I'm okay with that. The Juggernaut is almost always good, and it's a right clicker, and it'll deal it can spin into the egg, so it can deal with that quite well. Now, I think that we're not really seeing mids. So, I mean, while the gyro of Queens of Apocalypse can be played as mid, I think that it's probably better off as a carry. I think that they do need a little bit more of an initiator, a natural initiator. Like, you have the Phoenix as like a counter one. The Centaur could be one, but I would feel safer if the Centaur was the counter initiator. Like, just whoever, like if you had like a Queen or something, just blink in, and then you have the Centaur to kind of just cover the bases. I think that would work pretty well. Witches is in the same way. But it's kind of scary to pick a Queen into the Night Stalker, who can literally blink on you, AoE silence, and just right-click you to death. So just some things to note. Witches has only got 4 seconds. Now, mind you, Witches is, from what I know, is the last team from Myanmar. So if you're from Myanmar, you gotta root for them, and you gotta move on. Queens of Apocalypse are from the Philippines. We have a ton of teams from the Philippines. Not to say that you shouldn't root for them, but there is I would say, a skew in terms of this tournament and this league of most players and most teams, are from the Philippines. So it'll be very interesting in terms of what they want to do. Witches is kind of gone with the Viper, just kind of again with the whole old reliable. We're not going to make plays, but you're going to have a hard time just dealing with my sustain. I'm very tanky, which it kind of works okay. My big issue with the Witches draft is that they don't really have that push. Like, who's going to hit towers, right? Is it just going to be the Viper just tanking up everything and then just kind of right-clicking? And then Ogre Lion on the back end just making sure that if anyone jumps on him. But Queens of Apocalypse, they pick their Wind Ranger mid. Not the easiest of lanes going up against a Viper mid. But the Wind Ranger has everything. Is a jack of all traits. She's not amazing at everything. I mean, she's very good, I think. She's above average, I would say. But in a way, okay, I like it more when seeing it now. I mean, Ogre and the Lion have the stuns, so the Wind Ranger might struggle with that. Viper will probably naturally build into the Rod of Atos. So it's just some things to note, that the laning phase is going to be super important in terms of what you want to do and how Queens of Apocalypse goes about this game. And of course, the Night Stalker is going to be definitely something that you need to worry about, as almost any night, you got to respect it, right? And you got to be scared of the nighttime. But we're going to do a quick little break from what I know. I think the lobby needs to be remade. There's a slight issue where one of the players DC'd. I don't know if they can come back in. It's going to be the exact same picks, so don't worry about the drafts. But like, knowing the drafts and what we have, what is the easier of the two? I think with the power of the Abaddon, and of course I'm very biased when I say this, Abaddon is a 4 here. I think that the Abaddon is probably the most, it's going to come down to her in terms of making the saves. Because, you know what I mean, if the Ogre and the Lion are stunning, then you've got the Aphotic Shield to kind of just dispel all that. It's going to be really up to her to kind of make the plays and to kind of keep herself into this game. That said, let me do a quick DC. All right. And then, okay, sorry, 1 second. It's not a little bit of a, 1 second. We're going to go back in. All right. Create new channel. Hang on. Create new channel. All right. Okay. I think we're good. It's just going to be picked again very quickly, and then we're just going to go into the game. I don't think that there's anything to really, I mean, my memory's not all that great, so I don't remember all the players. But the Night Stalker, Ogre, Lion, I think that it's going to come up to them. How much pressure can they do? How much is the first 5-10 minutes going to be going for them? So if we're looking at that lineup of, Momo, Papa, Char, those are the 3 that you need to kind of just make plays. They need to make their presence known. If that laning phase goes well for them, the Viper can be super annoying because it's like early to mid tier in terms of a hero. It's going to be super powerful. So we'll see how that one goes. On the other end, I think it comes back to, like I said before, I think the Abaddon, how the Wind Ranger kind of deals with the whole laning phase into the Viper. It can be kind of rough. It might not be the easiest of things. But we're just going to load up into that. Now, mind you, the winner of this game will end up playing Elite. So the Elite players right now are probably tuning in. They're trying to get all the insight in terms of the bans, the picks, everything, just to kind of get, you know, I mean, you have that advantage, right? They were second place in their group, so they earned this respect, so to speak, and so they have this opportunity to kind of just scout in and see exactly what the other teams are doing. Now, I don't think going in they have a favorite in terms of who they want to play. I think that they're kind of somewhat okay with either. But yeah, it's definitely something. It's to your best interest to tune in to make sure that you're kind of aware of exactly what kind of play style they have. Like, you can see the rotations. You can see, oh, when do they smoke? When do they go for runes? Like, all of these things are very, very insightful. So I'm sure they're tuning in, trying to get as much insight as possible, probably cheating the system a little bit. But again, they've earned it, so they can do that. Now, we're doing a quick draft. This is probably the fastest draft. This is not on, you know, fast forward or anything. This is actually normal speed, but they've picked the teams, or they've drafted already, so we had to remake the game, and so we're kind of getting into the game now. Going in, yeah, I mean, the pick order is a little bit different, so it might throw off Elite, who are probably paying attention to this. So the game after this will end up being Steel Wolves Einherjar. I'm sorry, that's impossible to pronounce. And then they're going to go up against Frosty Fire. That's going to be a best of one. Now, mind you, after this game, though, we're going to go into a best of three. So Elite is waiting around. They're going to probably play as soon as this game is done. And so the winner of this one is going to get, you know, could potentially play 4 games in a row. It could be very, very tiring. So these are the kinds of things where you need to just build up stamina, understand that, yeah, we're gamers and we can play till any day of the week, but and we can play forever, but stamina and, like, you know what I mean, like mental state, right? If they end up, how phased will they be? I'm sure Elite are waiting in the wings, just wanting Witches and Queens to just play like a 3-hour game so that they're super tired when they end up playing. I think that would be a huge advantage. But we shall see. I think that right now we're about to load up. All the players have picked. It's the same as last time. We're going to start loading up, and away we go. So, loading in now. I think cosmetic-wise, I think the only one that really sticks out to me is the Wind Ranger with those bangs. But other than that, not too much. So we're going to go in right now, and it's the game. Let's see. The Radiant side, we're going to have Char on the Ogre Magi, Hannah on the Viper, Momo on the Night Stalker, Sin on the Juggernaut, and Papa on the Lion. If we're going to the Dire side, the Centaur, Zelia, has actually just DC'd. She'll probably be back very, very shortly. LV on the Gyrocopter, Joyson on the Wind Ranger, Starfire on the Phoenix, and Pamu on the Abaddon. I don't know why she doesn't have the tag, unfortunately. So, let me just say hello. We have a guest joined us. It's going to be Ashley Rita Wong. How are you today?
Hi. Probably not a unfamiliar face here.
Yeah, you've seen.
You'll see my face later on. Just hear my voice for a bit. So hi, Holla. Thanks for carrying the draft for a bit. So anyway, back to the draft here, right? So you're an Abaddon fanboy, clearly.
I love it. Love the hero.
Well, but let's say if I were to pit Abaddon versus the Night Stalker, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, it comes down to, I mean, it's like a sheer offlane to offlane. Like, are we comparing apples to apples, I guess? I actually think that the Abaddon is more powerful than the Night Stalker. I think it's easier to play. Like, even if you're losing, he can turn into, like, the Dazzle save type, right? Whereas the Night Stalker, if he doesn't have a good lane, he suffers. So you feel he's a little bit more one-dimensional as compared to the Abaddon here? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like, the Night Stalker has to make plays. She has to be constantly, you know what I mean? Like, if you're behind with the Night Stalker, you're in a bad spot, right? Because you're just like a glamorized melee creep in a way. Because, you know what I mean? Like, at nighttime, you become, like, a little bit, you become like an ancient creep. But I think during the day, you do suffer, right? You're not as strong, I would say. And it really comes down to the Night Stalker needing items. And also... Okay, the Abaddon here, I like the build already. Hasn't skilled anything, though.
So I was just reading this post yesterday actually
Right.
about Abaddon, about how I think it's one of the most flexible heroes right now in terms of skill builds and
Yeah.
even items.
Yep.
So you could go max miss coil, shield, you want to max your max your passive as well.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
you could go either way.
Yep.
It really depends, and
Yeah.
that's probably the beauty of having these kind of flexible heroes. I believe Vengeful was maybe another one that had that kind of flexibility in terms of skill builds.
Okay.
But there are a few heroes who who have such flexibility
Right.
in terms of items and skill builds, and it looks like Pamu will be
This
contesting with Papa
stun
here.
will
She got the
come.
stun off. Yep, she gets the stun and the rune as well.
So 2 and 2. So Abaddon messed it up. See, here's the thing, right? With Mystic Coil, the whole thing is you need to be spamming. Oh my gosh, Night Stalker's not going to turn around and just counts the self? Okay. But you need to be constantly spamming the Mystic Coil. It's the 50 mana, and the fact that you're full, you want to keep that regenning the entire time. So you want to constantly focus, you know what I mean? Because, yeah, you waste a little bit of health, but you just hit from afar and make sure that your mana is regenning.
Yeah, so I kind of disagree with what Pamu was doing there. I felt she should have been trading a little bit more in terms of not just right clicks, but even maybe timing, knowing that you're gonna get a stun by the lion there, but positioning yourself to at least suicide, and then you come back full health, full mana, don't have to expend that self.
Right. Yeah, that's a self very, very early. The game hadn't even started, right? So, yeah, I agree. Agree with everything. Now still hasn't spammed her Mystic Coil. Like, she's worried about the health. She doesn't understand.
She's gonna save LV for a bit.
Yeah,
has to fire up, very, very fire up still.
But honestly, from this game, the entire time from when it started, you could have gotten like 4 or 5 Mystic Coils off, and that mana regens, right?
Yep.
So you don't need to waste.
Mangoes anyway.
Yeah, but now she's kind of like lost the lane, right?
Yeah.
None of these people have sticks, so it's like the Skywrath Mage where you need to be prepared if he does start spamming. But it seems like Abaddon is not too familiar with the hero because you want to be spamming this mana. I mean, not like completely everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But you need to be using it more than you're doing because the amount of damage that it does is insane.
Okay, right
like, look at that,
right.
Like she could have done 4 or 5 and then like Lion completely out.
Lion's not a strong hero as in in terms of health pool, so it would have been easy to harass down the little lion and just trade regen. Oh, okay, right. Now Lion's down to a single tango. Pamu should be, so you can get the pull off here. Oh no, but it's not going to go through.
Yeah. Okay. Lion kind of with the interception, so to speak, and stops that pull. Now, what do you think about this mid lane?
I don't think so.
I'm thinking Viper should have the upper hand here, but if you're looking at the last hits, I think currently Wind Ranger is at the top 8 and 5 as compared to Viper, who's got 5 and 4. The nice thing is that I think Viper can just go to the off lane, so go to the jungle here and farm up very, very easily with Nether Toxin. It's just that I really think Viper, if Viper doesn't win lanes, then that kind of defeats like 40% of the purpose of the hero, right?
Yeah. I mean, okay, so Viper's one of the types where, it comes back in the jungle, but I feel like now is not the time to be going in the jungle right away. Right? I think that Joyson is actually kind of doing a little bit of outplay in the sense that she's actually winning this lane if we're looking at the last hits alone. Like 10 and 8 denies, or 11 and 8, right?
She's going to get an Arcane Rune.
Yeah.
Top lane
now, what about the bottom lane? What do you feel about this Juggernaut Ogre combo versus Centaur Phoenix?
It's okay. I think it's probably gonna go quite even. Maybe the witches on the side of witches, they probably need a little bit more regen. But otherwise it's not too bad. And if they don't make any kind of mistakes here, just not getting caught out of position, Phoenix having to dive, should be fine. Shouldn't be able to die.
Okay. Yep.
This is the more boring lane.
Yeah.
So
let's okay. Well, Arcane Rune not really used. Break has been used. Now he's going for the win run. Mind you.
Wait, 2 points into win run?
Yeah.
What?
That is a mistake. That is actually a mistake.
Okay, top lane they actually rushed down the lion and right under the tower.
Okay.
And Juggernaut bot.
And there's a dive going.
There's a dive going. Yeah, so I think Juggernaut might have expended his spin, and then I think they're gonna just run down the ogre who gets the mango out. The stun is gonna come out, but one last click from the.
Not sure
Yeah,
why
that's
she used the mango. I think she had enough mana for that, but okay. Nonetheless, a little bit of an outplay. We are seeing kills everywhere.
All over the map.
Okay. the Abaddon was a little low. So I think I'm 0 for 4 on these kills. So wherever I'm looking, kills will not happen apparently. My bad. But okay, Juggernaut is back. It was a little bit full. Still looking to get first item phase boots. Are you okay with that?
I feel like maybe you should be getting a little bit more. I think focusing on regen. I don't think shoes are quite very important right now because Olga has a point into Bloodlust, so that kind of gives you like pseudo shoes in that sense.
Yep.
So that's the point like a bit. Oh, haha, that's the point. The point of putting a point into Bloodlust early on, so that you it feels like you have shoes, but actually you don't.
Right. Oh, look at this invis, perfectly timed. So he's gonna steal the rune.
Perfect.
And then she's gonna run, pow, make a run for it. But this missile will probably lock her down.
Yeah, she's
but
gonna
will she
get
get
the
the
rune at least.
Oh, nice hex there.
And then
Photic shield will just back him off. Now, level 4 Night Stalker, I prefer like first night if you get level 5.
Right,
and
right.
then start that. But what do you think of just this in general? Like, do you think Night Stalker should run away? Like, I mean, make her presence known, like rotate, or just
she's
stay in
gonna
lane?
need the help of the Lion for sure. But Lion right now, very little mana, is going to be shrined up actually. So she should come back in and try to assert a little bit more dominance. But it is also pretty hard to go on to anybody who has the Abaddon behind them, right? So that's gonna be a bit of. I think it's gonna be a bit challenging to make plays there, but maybe.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Now, this Centaur and Phoenix are kind of pushing the lane quite a lot. It's been kind of rough in terms of how they're going to do this. The Viper's here, just level 6, though, but she is by herself, and she doesn't have corrosive skin. But the illusion, the first one with the Lion, steals that right under Wind Ranger's nose. Wind Ranger's going nulls. And a dive in by the Night Stalker going right onto the LV. But Momo's going to run away. Doesn't go for this. Oh, notice the courier a little too late. And then 3 lions, 2 illusions and 1 actual lion, are just going to kind of right-click everybody down. But are they going to die for this? Momo doesn't have actually. He has a 6 charge stick. But we'll see, and this Abaddon is a little low. They do need to worry about the tower aggro, that is. Momo's kind of getting into position. Now, Centaur is actually super low, doesn't really seem to care. He's just like building up retaliate stacks, and he's going to continue to do that. Now, Momo, on the other hand, is cutting the creep wave. And it looks like she's going to use, the other creeps to farm each other. Momo better get all of the last hits, or this doesn't work out very well. But Gyro's actually tanking the Radiant creeps at the tower. But if we're looking at last hits, Momo is making her presence known. 36 last hits is pretty good. 36 and 10 versus the Gyro's, 19 and 2. So she's been very, very strong. Now, a little bit of action here. They do get the Abaddon with the help of the Lion, who had just rotated through. The power shot is off the mark. The Wind Ranger is going to have to just run on back. Now, doesn't have any poison on him. The DOTs, that is. So she can start claritying. She can use the bottle. And she should not have any issues with that. Now, the Lion has gone back. Very, very low. Gets the kill. And is going to run on back home. With that, the Juggernaut is just going to kind of free farm. Oh, a little bit of pause here. A lull in the action, so to speak. Now, I'm going to talk a lot about this Abaddon because I feel like I play Abaddon, right? And so it looks to be like a 5 Abaddon. Doesn't have boots, which is a little disconcerting. Yes, you have 329 movement speed. It is very, very fast as a base. But I think that you know what I mean? Like the movement speed will just really help you, especially with the Night Stalker at night who runs 491 with the phase boots. You pretty much can't get away from that. So you do need to be a little bit careful. And Night Stalker is level 6, so Gyro does need to be worried a little bit. Does need to play a little bit more timidly, I would say. But Night Stalker doesn't have a whole lot of mana. The only thing, the mini stun goes off, and then the rocket is going to knock out the Night Stalker for a couple seconds. No follow-up on that. But the Abaddon is nearby in case the Night Stalker does want to dive on that. Now, level 7. 120 gold for. Oh, okay. She bought out. That's the item she's gonna get. Okay, so she's gonna definitely go Rod of Atos first, which is I think a great item against the Wind Ranger. You can kind of just lock her in place, create your pool of your nether toxins and your poison attacks. Just kind of, you want to keep her locked down as much as possible. You don't want her running in and out. She's kind of like a Night Stalker in that sense. Obviously, a ranged Night Stalker, that is. Now, if we're looking at the bottom lane, okay, Centaur is actually DC'd now. She has the hood, so she's making good progress versus the Juggernaut's phase boots. Seeing a lot of the magic damage. Now, the Lion is there, the Ogre also, and of course the Viper can do some work. Probably going Pipe first? What do you think, Ashley?
Pipe first seems... Yeah, I think it seems to be good because they're going to have to deal with the Viper in a bit. So Viper is going to be the main problem for them. The only thing is that I think as long as the Night Stalker doesn't get on top of the Centaur, it should actually be okay for the Night Stalker, whoever he goes on, because you've got the Stampede to get away from that. So
now, what is the first... I mean, you got phase on the Night Stalker, but what is the first item you get? What is the... Where do you go now?
Spirit Vessel might be a pretty good item here. Spirit Vessel to deal with the Centaur. You know, just keep Abaddon low, so it's really annoying.
Uh-oh, this line is in a bad spot. I was trying to get cute. Oh, but the Dark Ascension is now being popped. It's going straight up on the gyro, but Momo is going to run away seeing all three of them and realizes she cannot fight into this. So Momo kind of backs off, but does save the Lion with that usage of the Dark Ascension.
Do you really want to use Dark Ascension just to save your support?
Oh, no. Ideally, no. But, here comes a Windrunner.
Okay, Windrunner's here.
Joycen's here.
She's not going to see that Papa's going to TP out. Oh, no.
But they've kind of left the Night Stalker
by
by himself.
If you kill the Night Stalker during the night time, that's actually so valuable. And that's what they could see be doing.
Here comes the first missile. Joycen is here. Joycen is going to get the shackle. That's going to be an easy one with the call down. It's going to do a lot of damage on Momo, but she's going to use up her stick and she's going to try to run, but the creeps and the slowdown is going to just knock her out. Now, that was a nice rotation there. No other rotating. Okay, so Hannah now comes in. TP's in. Does get the break in, and it does a lot of work on that, but the Sunray heal will just kind of keep the Joycen alive.
Wow. Fantastic heals. We forgot to mention that actually both of their supports here and the side of the Dahlia, they both heal actually.
Yes.
So that's going to be very annoying to deal with, and perhaps why the Spirit Vessel is going to be even more important. It's just that the heal mechanics are not quite as straightforward in the sense that, let's say Abaddon ult, right? He has to ult first, and then I believe even if you put the Spirit Vessel on him, he actually still gains health.
Yes.
Okay, but the shackle onto...
What?
Oh, wait, what? Papa?
Nani? Lion is like, oh, I'm invis, so I'm just like not here. I'm a fly on the wall. I'm actually not going to do anything.
What was she waiting for?
She had both of her stuns. I don't know what she was doing. I think there was a little bit of miscommunication in terms of how that one went, how that played out.
She used shackle and Windrun, so... Oh, okay.
But Papa is nearby. They don't see the two-man Earth Spike. That's going to do a lot. But the Rocket Barrage, the Night Stalker gets a little bit low. She's at about 280 life. Momo needs to back up a little bit. Some other TPs are coming in. Char is here, but really doesn't have the mana to do anything, and it just kind of swayed everybody from really fighting.
Such an odd movement.
Yeah, that was... okay, now, if we're looking at Papa is level 4. Pamu is level 4 as well. Yeah. Like, okay, the Dark Ascension is now being popped. She's going to turn, and she's going to try to run as fast as possible, but who can she see? She gets the stun off on Pamu, but she's going to look to back off the missile, is going to turn around, and it's going to focus fire on the Night Stalker. It does connect. Earth Spike catches out the Abaddon. Some right clicks. No, but the stick is there.
No,
and now the Joycen is here with a shackle, and she destroys Papa. Gyro will look to... Oh, Lion still alive? Okay, there we go. The focus fire will get him down. Char does a nice stun, kills out the Abaddon, even with the explosion, but Momo running in and out. This is the power of the Dark Ascension. And now he's back to Bruce Wayne, and he's like, I'm a businessman. Oh, but the shackle. Okay, stun. Didn't really have anywhere to go. I think that's the most that the Ogre can really do on that.
That Night Stalker baited both his supports into death here.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I felt like, you send two supports running in with you, but you forget that, well, you're the only one who can fly.
Yes, yes. I mean, like right at the limit of the end of the Dark Ascension. So, the Omni being used there.
Omni slash.
Oh, the finger!
Oh, and the finger as
Hello.
well.
So Papa there, perfect timing. Just, I mean, level 6, the first usage of the finger.
Yeah,
is a
Lion
kill.
went for an interesting build here. No points in mana drain and going instead for a mana boots instead. So that's
I don't like it.
I mean, she wants to build into an Aether Lens, but the thing is that Lion also has a cast range talent at level 10. So
no, I mean, okay. Like, I
really
understand the
wants it to be
merit.
that
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. I mean, she's going to obviously disassemble it. So I guess it's all right. And you don't really need mana drain. Maybe this is the new meta one. But here we go.
All right,
Double edge. They do
get
the stun and the spin.
Centaur is really strong though. Does have a pipe, you know.
He's looking to turn this around. Oh, the stun is off the mark though. But the Phoenix is here with his Sunray and the heal. But yeah, that was super awkward. I mean, the pipe was there. Didn't really have finger, and it's like it's hard to kill somebody when you don't have Omni, you don't have finger to kind of just destroy
Centaur is super strong already.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have didn't even max retaliate here, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but the only thing about the Centaur was that she missed the stun. She didn't stampede. She didn't. Stun again off the mark.
Blight stun, of course.
But the Earth Spike catches him out. The Phoenix
gyro is here.
The missile and the Stampede is now being used. They're looking to turn this. The Phoenix egg.
Beautiful
the first
egg.
one, level 1. They can't really do anything. The call down is going to actually do some damage on that ogre. And that Char is going to go down. Well, nice rotation by Gyro. That was like a perfect limit. I mean, the only thing was Hezella missed the stun in the jungle the first time.
They don't need the stun anyway.
Don't need it, yeah. Oh, that's super annoying. It's like steals it, the Phoenix.
Stealing some creeps.
Yeah, I mean, but they're both level 8.
Oh, that's got
Dark
to
Ascension here.
Dark Ascension top to run away from Joyson, I think. Yeah. He does have the silence.
Yeah, but you don't want to go into that.
Going into, she went for a medallion and is going into the Spirit Vessel later on. Okay. I'm fine with that.
Would you go Solar Crest first, or like Urn, or like?
No, I think you should go for the Urn first. It's just more valuable here, and also the the nice thing about being Abaddon not 6, yeah.
No borrowed time.
Oh.
And
it's almost 15 minutes, and she's only level 5.
Yeah, I don't know. Hang on.
What happened to the tomes? Sorry, this is one thing we can't tell. We can't tell the team. We should be able to, right?
We should, but they don't like that. We don't have that technology. But yeah, it is a little disconcerting because I'm talking about a big game for Abaddon, but this is not. You need to be higher than that. You need to be making your presence known. And I feel like she really had a bad lane.
She's level 6. Yeah. She's level 6.
So, a little bit of action in the mid lane. Does have Atos on the Viper, so this could be set up for something.
Right,
but
the
it doesn't have it. But the Aphotic Shield?
Remember the Aphotic Shield? Yeah.
And just keep her alive. And this is, again, the power of the Abaddon, right? Like, anytime you stun, you just Aphotic Shield it. I'm out. But Char here just getting some free sentries and wards. And it is nighttime, so Momo does need to play the Stampede. They're looking to run away.
They're going to run away from the Dark Ascension, yeah.
Can you run away from Batman? You can.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, wow. And even Winron and Stampede were used at the same time. So that was, I don't think you go twice as fast or anything, but just something to note.
Can they re-engage here again? They do have all their outs except for the Stampede.
The line is in a...
They're going in.
Oh, the Shackle catches them out.
How did that Shackle?
I don't even know, but the stun up on the Windrunner and the Earth Spike catches out the Gyro. This is
Lion,
Centaur. The stop catches out the Lion. The Lion goes down. Oops. And they're going to continue to run after this. The Sunray's doing a lot of work. The Shackle's off the mark, but the Wind Run and the Focus Fire, and they're going to look to take the Ogre down first. Are they going to try to find the Night Stalker? Batman. Run. Oh,
Where was the Viper in all of that?
Viper is looking to just be like, I'm out. I'm going mid. I'm just going to push elsewhere. And through that, Batman will just kind of run away with that supersonic speed of 493 at nighttime. So here's Hannah. She's doing some pushes. She's got about 1,600 gold. What is the next item for? You just go Greaves? I think that's okay.
You do go Greaves right now, but I think she just needs to be a little bit more active on the map.
I agree.
What could help her be more active?
Ooh, Dark Ascension catches them out the run of Atos. This is going to lock down the Gyro and has got nowhere to go.
No
the silence. It's got the Phoenix is here, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
get 3.
He's like, I thought about it, but no. So a very easy kill. Nice use of the Dark Ascension, and they're going to continue to run. Oh, yeah. Doesn't really matter.
They actually borrowed time.
Yeah. That's fine. It's like 60 seconds. At the end of the day, she should play better positioning moving forward, so it's not an issue. As long as you play around that cooldown, you should be fine, because they really don't have the lockdown for you.
So Radiant, they should be on the offensive now, but if you look at their wards, it's completely defensive. It's all in their jungle, so
Yeah.
they don't see anything across the river, and
Yep.
they're just going in blind here. So
Yeah.
maybe that's the reason why Hana doesn't feel like she can go aggressive yet. It might be on the Lion or the Ogre to get some wards out here. And I think maybe Night Stalker does give you vision, but you know you want...
Ooh, Joyson, oh my god, the Shackle. Nice little one tree here, and Char looks to go down. The Stampede is also being used. The Earth Spike catches off
double
2, but the Hex up, and the Lion looks to go down as well. The Missile Barrage is going to light up on the line. It doesn't really matter. And Momo is running for her life. No secondary Shackle, but she's going to continue to run. Momo running for her life. Can she do anything? Hannah's just kind of shooting from afar, but I mean, it's so hard to just lock down this Momo, right? What do you do?
Oh.
I mean, they got 2 for that, and it looks like they're going to rotate mid to at least take the T1.
As an Ogre, you really... Okay, you're strong, you're tanky, but not at 18 minutes here.
Yeah.
There's no way you walk up high ground just like that. And, you know, and into an area where the shrine is there, you know.
No vision.
Yeah, no vision whatsoever. You should never be in front. I think it's only your Night Stalker who should be in front. Viper even.
Oh, the Rod is
Atos?
being used, but it's the wrong one.
Yeah, it's the wrong. You don't...
You don't want to go on that.
Okay, so then who do you go on right now?
You got to go for, actually, probably... I'm trying to think. Gyro maybe, but okay, here comes the fight. The Phoenix Egg is being used on the back. The Momo's getting a lot of damage during the day. So that was, oh my god, and the Shackle catches on the Viper, and it looks to fight. They're going to continue to go, and their Rod of Atos is stuck on the Phoenix, but he's going to burn down the Viper. He uses the stick, and they're going to look to take down Char, who's just running around in circles. The Shackle just to secure that one. What can they do? The Finger is being used, does kill the Gyro, so that's some sort of reward for that. But they do get the Rod of Atos. They lock him into place. The Centaur is a fish, but he's swimming in the river. He should be fine. Oh, borrow time can just get ticks on over. It's like that was awkward. But
they might see the Abaddon actually. They know that borrow time was proc, but can they actually catch the Abaddon? He's kind of speedy.
You do have Atos.
He's riding a horse. You know, Joyson is here.
Oh, nice Shackle from the high ground. Now, mind you, she does so much work with this MKB.
Right.
I think 18 minutes or so.
It's not the item you usually go for on Wind Ranger, but I'm getting to see a lot more MKBs actually, as opposed to the Maelstrom. So, I mean, it doesn't help you to farm, but sure, it helps you to deal a lot of single target damage.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what they need right now, because they do have overwhelming teamfight on the side of the Dire. So, Wind Ranger, maybe with the MKB, she's saying, I'm not looking to farm, I'm looking to take. I'm looking to farm heroes, not creeps.
But it's another thing with the coordination with the team. Like, if we're looking at Gyro's actually going to get the Maelstrom. So you don't need to hit 2 heroes to get it. So it does make sense in the sense of I will go MKB, you go Maelstrom, right? So the Rocket is going to launch in, and it's just going to sway them. But Rod of Atos catches out the Gyro. LV is going to, okay, Momo queues up the Dark Ascension, and it becomes a day. And the egg on the back end of this. What is going on? Okay, that was super awkward. Why was it day?
Momo lives.
Momo lives?
No, when the Phoenix turns it to egg, right? When it turns it to egg, it turns it to day. So basically, they catch Momo off. Yeah, they catch Momo off.
Interesting. The Rod of Atos catches out the Phoenix. Got nowhere to go. She's going to swoop on out of there, but the missile just buying a little time. Okay.
Oh, I can't believe Momo lived there, right?
Yeah.
Like, on a sliver of HP.
Okay. Actually, that's quite interesting, the interaction. That's something I didn't even talk about with the it turning it to day thing. But yeah, I guess when you're a Phoenix egg and you're like a sun, I guess you would.
Of course, it's the day, right? The sun only shows up in the day. But I did watch this thriller movie of sorts. Basically, it revolves around this period. I suppose this is a phenomenon in, I think it's Sweden, where it's called Midsummer, and basically the sun doesn't set for a couple of days, for a couple of weeks, I think. So it's.
That would totally mess up my body clock.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so you need the night to sleep, right? So the creepy thing is that it's like a thriller kind of movie, and it's completely like brightly lit.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
yeah, it's interesting that way.
Oh,
so
okay. When did that movie come out? I've not seen or heard of that.
I'm not very sure.
Okay.
But
Is it on Netflix?
It's interesting. I don't think it's on Netflix, but yeah, Midsommar. It's a movie or a scary movie that's just completely brightly lit. So yeah.
Cool. I like scary movies, so I will go and probably see that. Okay, so a little bit, it's kind of been more of a lull. Now, Hannah's doing awesome in terms of farming, right? 168
She
last
got the
hits.
pipe first, and then now she's going for a mech.
Yeah. No, I think this is right. Pipe, which is fine. You want to end up getting Greaves at some point. That the amount of sustain that you have is just crazy. She's just super tanky. So definitely something that you need to kind of worry about. Because, again, this is why the Wind Ranger went MKB, right? To deal with this Viper, you need some sort of right-click action. With Focus Fire, you can do some work. Oh, the Shackle.
The Shackle is on the
really
creeps,
hit anything.
actually.
Abaddon has been silenced in the
But
Stampede. And they're going to just try to run that around. Now, the Dark Ascension, just gonna, the 3-man
Oh,
Earth Spike. Oh, but the jump in
That's
from
a nice thing.
Hezbollah.
Ravage on
It's
cooldown.
2-man stun. The Phoenix Egg is being used on the back end. Momo's probably looking to go down. The Omni Slash is being used. And the Finger is also going to pop off the Centaur. He's going to go down. Now, Dark Ascension Knight is now being shown in that sense. And the Wind Ranger Joyson got nowhere to go.
Joyson, she's going to be going down.
Yeah, no wind
They
run.
beat her down in 3v1.
Yeah, the wind run was on cooldown. She couldn't really just sneak out of that. And it looks like a 2-for-1. And just getting the Momo. But what do you think about that fight?
I think they figured out that, using the egg while Dark Ascension is popped as well. Egg and Stampede, these are actually basically the counters to your Night Stalker here.
Yeah,
It's
very clever.
Honestly, it's amazing here.
Yeah.
So they normally always pop the egg just as Momo is going in for the kill. So they have these two safe mechanisms, and it basically means Night Stalker needs to play super ultra carefully. Even if he gets a BKB, which he's going for next, it doesn't mean anything because it still turns to day. There's no way you stop it from turning to day unless you take down the Phoenix first. But
like, it's hard to take him down without Dark Ascension because Momo is your ganker, so to speak. Because you have Radovatos from the Viper, but that's like your other initiator. Like, you need somebody else if it's because he's pretty much countered every time you use Dark Ascension.
So that's why, okay, so I was looking at the Lion just now. So Lion is almost on the way to a Blink Dagger, and I think that's the thing that might change the game here for the Radiant.
Okay.
They really need this Lion to be ahead, and I don't think the Lion should have gone for the, let's see. I really don't think the Lion should have gone for the, no worries. Don't think the Lion should have gone for the Aether Lens. Let's see what talent you went for. See, you have cast range talent here at level 10, and you still go for the Aether Lens. I think that's a bit of an overkill, honestly.
Yeah, but she can pretty much finger from the fountain at this point, right? I think that she's kind
of...
All
right, just stand in the fountain then.
I mean, it can help in terms of position, because the 90 damage is something that, like, yeah, it's great if you're farming, and I think it works better in terms of, like, solo pubs. But if your sole objective is to just hit things from afar and to just stay in the trees, it makes sense.
Do you have to be, like, that far?
Yeah, I mean, it helps. Your room for error is a little bit better. Joyce had taken a lot of damage from that tree, from the tower, excuse me.
Look at the range of that stun.
Oh, and here comes, the Radovatos is going to lock her into place, but she shackles the Juggernaut. She's going to look to get away. Joyce is going to run for her life. She's got 2 more seconds. The Fire Blast, nope, that's going to be enough to lock it down. Nice Fire Blast by Char. The TPs are coming out. Dark Ascension was used, so Momo with the right-click action. You want to bring the sun?
Yeah.
No, it is
so
nighttime.
Phoenix did have the egg here, but I think Momo going for the right place there, going for the Phoenix actually. So and then the rest of the team just beat up the Wind Ranger. The rest of the team wasn't quite in place, and so that was just a simple fight. Go for the Phoenix, take down the Phoenix first.
Yeah, I think so. Back to your question, I think that priority-wise, you definitely need to go for that Phoenix. Silly, like I wouldn't have thought that, but then seeing the sun and then I'm like the egg, I'm like, oh wow, okay, this is why. You definitely need to get on it. So Momo a little upset, I'm sure, and realizing that this is a priority target.
You just got to go for the bird.
Yep. But Papa here, I think she's gotten some good work in terms of the finger.
She's got the blink. She's got the blink. Now the initiation, okay, this is going to be funny. If she goes for level 25, she goes for the 1000 of spike range.
Oh, that would be insane.
Oh,
the shackle doesn't connect on
I thought
that
that would be a
one.
2-man shackle actually, it looked like.
Yeah, just barely off the mark. The missile goes in.
Sinsin, help your friend out.
Momo.
Sinsin, hello.
All right. Momo's been hit the most with missiles this game. I mean, it started from the laning phase and moved on. The Centaur is Hazella. Okay, was looking to just kind of ward, but Papa sees that and dewards herself.
Oh, they get the deny in the tower.
Very nicely played by Papa there. Okay, so now we're looking at the net K lead, net worth lead. Net K lead. I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay, K worth fight.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Oh wait, there's a big fight going on. There's an off-lane shrine over there. So they're gonna stampede away. They're gonna try and take down the ogre in the end. Power shot to the face, and that will actually be the only casualty. So I think ogre was, you know, warning mission.
Yeah, she's just kind of by herself, kind of in an awkward spot. To be honest, I didn't expect that, just because it's like you should not be so far away.
Yeah, you just
from
should
your
not be
cores,
so.
right?
But that's, you know, the second time that ogre has died around that area again.
Yeah.
Just didn't learn her lesson, I suppose.
Ogre 2 heads, not that smart. Wind Ranger here, gonna get BKB next. What do you think about that?
BKB, yeah, I think she's been, you know, focused on a lot by the rest of the team. They have kind of made her a priority, except for Momo. Of course, Momo decides like, no, I just want the bird.
So Joyce in here is spotted out by Papa. The blink in. I don't know if they know that Papa has the blink yet.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Oh, they do?
Know the way
Okay.
that when Joyson came in.
Okay. All right. So she does have blink as well. Now Joyson is actually tops in terms of net worth on her team.
But she's still a ways away behind the Viper and the Juggernaut as well.
Yeah.
So.
And so it looks like LV is going to go straight up buy not components, but I'm just going to buy everything at once in terms of the BKB. Sorry, there's a little posturing.
You know, it gives me anxiety when I see people holding so much gold.
Exactly. Same.
Like, I'm just like, just spend it.
Yeah.
Just look at your buyback and then spend the amount. You're gonna.
Right. And with the vision that they have and the amount of map control, they did know that they're probably in the bottom lane, which means that they have the space to take Roche. So since in here, just doing a lot of damage with that Bloodlust, and just going to do some work, the Totem of Healing, and just Roche is kind of bathing in the poison, the Nether Toxin. And it looks like they're going to look to
defend
turn.
this as well.
Ooh, the Earth Spike is off the mark, but they got Roche. They prevented the T2 from going down. And
That's
it looks
a big
like
win for Witches.
yeah, that's really big, actually. So, Witches is the last Myanmar team. So, this is all or nothing for them, right?
Yep, the last one standing from Myanmar.
So, since they just kind of walk up to high ground, has no vision, but she does have Aegis. But looks to get the rune instead. 2 so far for the Witches. And this is worrying, right? 30 minutes in, and your hard carry has got just drums and Maelstrom, right? Dark Ascension is now being used.
On top lane, they're gonna go for Joyson on top lane, right? So they're gonna look for Momo instead, but Momo's flown away into the trees.
Yeah, she's gonna TP
The rest
on
of the
out.
team is they've all rotated over, which leaves a lot of space for bottom here to push in.
So, do you think you need to go like Tinker Ward to kind of catch out this Momo? What do you think about this?
I don't think it's too bad because usually Joyson is the one who's catching Momo off, and that's pretty good. Or actually, maybe sometimes you actually count on the fact that Momo is the one going into you,
Right.
you know, and then you counter initiate with the egg or the stampede. So I think that's fine, honestly. And Momo popping Dark Ascension to run away, that's also really good.
Oh,
You
the
want
stomp
it to
in.
be defensive. Oh no, the
Ravatos catches him out. The 2-man shackle on the back. The Sun Ray, and the egg is now going to be used, and all 3 of them are there, and they're going to continue to fight this. They're going to go for the egg. The call has been made, but they get okay. So the egg finally goes down. The ogre as well. The Juggernaut is still alive. Does not have. He uses Omni at the last second. Oh, but it kills him right away. 3 are down. 3 for 3. The Aegis has been popped. 3 for 2, excuse me, because just the Aegis.
Papa, can you find more? No, they fall back off already.
What do you think about that fight?
I think that was a okay fight for Witches here. Obviously they had the advantage in terms of the ages, so they were a lot more fierce. But there was it's fantastic team fight coming out from the Dire. I think it was just okay. So let's just break this down for a bit. I think Viper shouldn't have gone on that Centaur. Like there's no way you go on that Centaur. Just ignore the fat man and
the shackle with that
to
tree.
that one
What?
tree?
Oh my gosh, the double
Spin
edge, the
TP?
jugs. He's got
No, it has no
nowhere.
spin.
He's got no. He's
No
doing a
more spin.
lot of damage. That shackle, Joyson.
What?
The plays.
What? But it's because it's
Oh,
no,
and another shackle, but it doesn't
another
really matter
shackle.
because it just cancels out the TB. The 2-man stun for the Earth Spike. Papa's going to
She
run
doesn't
away for her
blink.
unless she does have blink. She should be fine. But Joyson, wow. How do you find that
How
one
do you find
tree?
that one tree? You know, I think when people who play Wind Ranger, they know where all the trees on the map are.
Okay, I have like almost 200 games with Wind Ranger, and I did not know that tree was there. So maybe you should say good. Oh, the
good
stun.
Oh no, the stun. And,
Oh, Joyson
Papa
with
hanging
the
around for too long.
blaze. She's just
She
blinking all over the place.
She's got no mana, actually.
Dark Ascension is now being used. The
Do you
silence,
really want
the
to go on
centaur.
Hazelia?
He's gonna look to try to TP on out. Joyson, he's gonna TP out. She should be fine. But I mean, that's a worthy sacrifice, I would think. It looks like the Dire team are just gonna run away and just take what they can. Now, mind you, when this fight happened here, the Radiant one, Momo is continuing to press the advantage. No, okay. But this fight here, through all of that, Momo was on the top lane. So they took that fight 4v5, and they ended up winning. I mean, yeah, they lost Aegis in that, but not that bad. That's how powerful Witches is right now. So a little
I think Dire do have a chance. It's just that the Abaddon needs to be in a better position and not caught out there.
Yes.
So,
but that's
the multicast.
Oh, the call down gets used. The greaves,
no,
it doesn't
get
really
out of
matter,
there,
but Shards is going to try to run away. The shackle on the back.
Again
Momo
to
gets shackled with
tree.
Joyson. That is Valve. Gavin, please. Oh, but he gets hexed up. He's gone too far. The Aphotic Shield has already been used. The Earth Spike as well. He's trying to keep the Joyson alive. BKB is now being popped. And they're going to go back to the Shrine. The Phoenix Egg. But the Omni Slash is going to be completely used up on the Joyson.
And
the shackle on the back end of that. The finger's also been used. She gets another kill. The gyro goes down on the back end of this. Phoenix is going to run away or try to get to, but she's been hexed up. Joyson is still around. She's blinking forward. Oh, but she's been broken, and she went too far. The Sun Ray is not enough to heal her. Both of the cores are down with Gyro and Wind Ranger, and it looks like they're going to do a full disengage. It doesn't really matter. Sin is continue to run in, spin, and that looks to be at least bottom racks.
Alright, so I think Joyson making a very crucial mistake there. Trying to go in again very aggressively, but overestimating her power, I suppose. And now she's no buyback as well, forcing the gyro buyback. Momo is in very deep. It is going to be night time in about 30 seconds time. So they've got to be a little bit careful, but they will take this lane of Rax.
There's really nothing they can do. Even call down didn't scare them away. They don't really care.
No.
The Hex in was perfectly timed.
My
my gosh. And the Earth Spike from to infinity and beyond.
From Papa.
Yeah, Papa making plays. That was actually, and the tip, that was not a BM tip. That was a respect tip.
That was a respect tip. That was pretty amazing here.
Oh, Papa. Wow. She's been clutch. Like her plays. We made fun of the managing thing, and actually, I think the itemization
don't think
works.
I was making fun.
No, you were making fun of her.
I was really questioning.
Ashley Rita Wong, you can find on Instagram and Facebook, was making fun of you, Papa. Come at her.
I mean, it's just okay. I really want to see her hit level 25. Honestly.
Yeah.
I just want to see the plus 1000 Earth Spike range.
I mean, if we're looking at levels,
she's 8 levels away.
Yeah. We got a ways away, but I don't think the game will last that long where she gets 8 levels. But
because Witches are 14k net worth lead ahead right now, so
yeah. So Momo here does have
finish up the shrines,
and objective-based gaming. It comes back to this Abaddon, in my opinion.
This Abaddon
hasn't
had the impact that we thought you would.
But okay, nonetheless, this is just okay. Mind you, if they lose, they're out of the league. So there's no. They were gonna play the end.
This is just an elimination match here.
Yeah.
Roshan is being pinged out again, but it's not quite up yet, I think.
Scotty next on Sinsin. Do you do this? If you have Ultimate Orb and you have the
no,
match
you
swap
don't.
That back,
you
right?
have a 2,000 2,000 gold item and you hold your stick. No.
Okay. All right. This hurts me.
Yeah, this hurts me too.
Yeah. I mean, as a support player who never really gets 6 item, 6
yeah,
slotted.
I mean, sheesh, man.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like they're going to go high ground. It is nighttime, so they do need to respect Momo's power.
Well, the Phoenix be like, you think it's nighttime? No.
Yeah, but this is going to be a hard fight to take into. Joyson is actually rotating from the mid lane now. Probably going to look to hit the back end. The stomp catches out one. The Hex, instant Hex is there. The call action. Then they're going to look to get the Lion. That's the first one you want to get. The Focus Fire there. Joyson takes down the Lion. Papa's down. But 62 seconds, she does have buyback. Since it is here, the Omnislash is now being used. Stampede as well, and they're going to look to disengage. The Shackle catches on the 2. And it gets the stun. The Abaddon needs to keep the Hazelia up. The Aphotic Shield, very, very nice. The Sun Ray is now being used. But it looks like how much damage can they do? And they're looking to heal them all. Starfire goes down for that. And that was a worthy sacrifice. Hazelia survives for that, but Joyson is getting low herself. She does need to be a little bit careful, but they do lose racks in that. There's a buyback from Papa and Starfire. Oh, and the stomp in. They're going to at least take out Shard.
No,
Not enough. Hazela, and the finger kills the Gyro.
Gyro bought back before that as well.
Oh,
Gyro has no buyback for a very long time.
Oh.
4 minutes still on the clock.
No. And it looks,
I
mean,
got
this
a
is getting a
Mega.
Mega, right?
They can mega them.
What can Joyson do? He's going to look to blink away, but they're just doing work on this. They're focusing for the tower. They get the two-man shackle. Momo, but it doesn't really matter. Even with a Vessel there. And the stun up, the Fire Blast gets caught up on the
oh, no.
Starfire looking to go
Starfire.
down. Has no choice. He's been silenced, and Abaddon is popping borrowed time. Got no choice, but Joyson trying to do what she can. She keeps the shackles off the mark. She does have BKB once that wears off.
No,
she does have Wind Run, but the Fire Blast is going to lock her into
is not too
place.
expensive. Finger to the face.
But she's going to buy back, but this is the last racks before Megas. Can Abaddon is like, what can I do? I'll drop a sentry? Like, you don't have borrowed time, you got nothing to do. And it looks like Abaddon is going to go down there. And mind you, that is Megas. And so the buyback
is
from
up
Abaddon.
in 17 seconds, but I'm not really sure what they can do.
Oh,
even
the
with
Hex has
the
got
Hex.
nowhere to go. The Rod of Atos is going to lock him in. Doesn't have borrowed time, so this is a dieback. And it looks, Char gets the double kill. Joyson is just in the fountain. Not really much she can do, and they're just going to focus down the Ancient. It looks like it's going to be GG. Very well played by Witches. So the Myanmar team somehow survives. It looks like they're going to continue, and they're going to play Elite in the next series, which is going to be a best of three.
It's going to be a best of 3 for the next series.
So very well played there. I mean, it's 27-23, but this 20K net worth lead. That is the crazy part, right? I mean, they were just in full control of this game from the start to finish, right?
Yeah, so I feel, again, like, you know, every time we hype up something, like the last time we hyped up the Night Stalker, and then the Night Stalker fell flat on his face. And then now we hype the Abaddon up, and then Abaddon is like,
Okay.
like, didn't quite have the impact that we thought Abaddon would. So is it just a problem of Abaddon being played as your position 5, or, you know?
I mean, okay, look, if we're looking at Witch's lineup, the Night Stalker did an awesome job. Right. She won the lane. She made her presence known with all like the nighttime attacks and the dark ascensions and all that. But it basically bought time for Sinsin, who was relatively quiet until the mid game. Once she got a couple of items, she got the Maelstrom.
She did have a little bit of a difficult laning stage, but that's the nice thing about Juggernaut. You know, you kind of go back into the jungle and then you're able to farm up really, really fast. Yeah,
she came back. I mean, Joyson, hats off to her. She tried to keep herself, her team in the game.
She dealt the most damage. Did she deal 29k? Yeah, in the entire game.
Yeah.
Like, she dealt the most damage.
Yeah.
So Joyson. Whew.
So yeah, I mean, very well played. I think, I mean, Queens of Apocalypse are going to probably go back, look to go into the next FSL series, the next league. So best of luck moving forward. Stay together. You guys are a good team. Obviously getting, I think they're 4th place in their group, so they're a respectable team.
Yep.
It's just a matter of just kind of fine-tuning things to just kind of get yourself to that next level. But that said, we're going to go into a quick little break, and then we're going to go into a best of 3 between Witches and Elite. That's going to be a best of 3. We'll probably be back very, very shortly. And yeah, we'll be back.